Welcome back to the trail with Mushy the Cowboy Cook. St. Patty's Day is coming up, so we're going to go a little Irish cowboy. We're going to cook an Irish sausage roll. So let's get into it. All right, for this Irish sausage roll, I'm taking 1 pound of breakfast sausage. I'm using Niece's Sausage, which is a local North Carolina company. 1 pound of that, about 1/4 of a large onion diced up. I didn't dice it up real fine. You can if you want to, that's up to you. 1 egg, and mix that up a little bit. And then about 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. That's about 1/4 cup. And just kind of see how that goes. Between your egg and your breadcrumbs, that's going to bind up everything. I figure since St. Patty's Day is around the corner, I'd try and do a couple of Irish dishes. Now I recommend using, I recommend using plain breadcrumbs. I've got Italian, that's because of what I have. That's nothing wrong with that, just a little extra spices in it. Give you a multicultural sausage roll. Now when we come back, we'll put it all together and then stick it in an oven. In the meantime, heat your oven to 350 if you're doing it inside. Otherwise, get your fire going. Now this calls for a puff pastry. I couldn't find a puff pastry at the general store, so I went with a crescent dough sheet. That's the one without the perforations, which that will puff up too, so use what you have. Like if you like Italian sausage better, you could use that. So just get it on a board. Now I'm going to have enough for 2 of them. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, should have enough for 2. But I'm just going to make 1 today. Get you a nice even right down the center. That should be fairly even. And then take Beat you up an egg. And just go around the edge real quickly. Oh, one thing, talking about being at the Lodge factory store the other week, this past weekend actually, by the time you see this video, and someone commented on the video asking me about tomato products in your Dutch oven. And yes, tomato products can eat through your seasoning on it. But what I do is, and Mosey does the same thing. He doesn't put a liner in it or anything. And you can if you want to. Sometimes I will. At an upcoming show, I will use a liner only to make cleanup easier, because I'm not going to have hot water available, or at least not a pot that I can, enough hot water to truly wash it out. But all I did was, after I got all the chili out, I took hot water and just a green scrubbing pad and scrubbed the inside real good. And then what I do is heat it back up a little bit. I like to use grapeseed oil, and take a little grapeseed oil and with the paper towel run it back in through the inside of the pot, and you want just a real thin film. I used to be in unfinished furniture, and we taught people whenever you clear coat, you want it just to feel greasy, and that's all you want. Put a coat of that on it. Wipe out, of course, any excess, because all you want is a real thin film. Put it back on the fire a little bit and heat it back up, and then take it off and then let it cool down. And that's how I actually treat, and you'll see on the trail, and I'll try and show you if I haven't already. I don't think I have, but I will try and show you on the trail how we actually do it, which is that way, and then let it cool down. So that's how we treat our pots, even using tomato-based products in it. So I hope that explains it. And like I said, at a show, I'll try and actually show it to you. All right, back to this. Just fold in your dough. And that egg is going to seal it up a little bit. Help give you a good seal. And then I'm going to actually flip this over just so it'll look better. Just put some holes in it. That lets the steam out. And then I'm going to cut it into pieces. And I've got a sprayed rack. This is a mesh, or you can use a broiling rack. I'm using this so that any grease and moisture, like out of the onions, comes out. It will drip down, and instead of making the dough soggy, the dough will crisp up. Trying to wrangle everything. But it's important whenever you use your cast iron to clean it as soon as possible. Even if you're cooking bacon and eggs, go ahead and get some hot water and scrub it out if need be. And then, like I said, just put a little thin little coat of oil back in the pan and put it back on the heat just a little bit. Whenever you heat the pan, that opens up the pores and allows the oil to get into all the pores. But if you take care of your cast iron, it will last you a long time. And even if you come across some rusty ones or you let yours go, you can bring it back to life. In fact, I've got a Dutch oven for a friend I'll be showing you. It's just rusty, and we're going to get that rust off and fix it up for them. Alright, so once you got everything cut, just take the rest of your beaten egg and this will give it a nice sheen. And just brush all the pieces, give it a quick little glaze. Don't forget to spray your pan. And then we're going to pop this in the Dutch oven. Like I said, cook inside. Pop it in 350 oven. It's going to go for about 40 minutes or so. By cutting it up, that will help keep the cook time to a minimum. Obviously, if you're going to have the whole roll in there, it's going to take a little bit longer for everything to cook through. But this allows the moisture to get out and grease, just so it won't be all that greasy. So we'll get this in the oven and get it cooking and come back and give it a try. Wish me some Irish luck on it. All right, these things are done. This crust, well, maybe not enough spray on the bottom. Sticking just a little bit. There you go. That egg wash. Very nice, simple recipe, and with the luck of the Irish behind me, came out great. This would be great for an appetizer. With all the basketball games coming up, tournaments, NCAA tournament here in America. Quick appetizer. And even like on the Easter table, and we'll come up with some dishes for Easter as that rolls around. But give it a try. Now with the video about me going to the Lodge outlet store. My friend in Texas asked me to talk a little bit about the stand I had my Dutch oven on. I'm sure one of the blacksmiths that we hang out with made it. I'm quite sure one of them did. Now this one is right at 8 inches across. Total height, right at 7 1/4 inches high. And then the metal, it's just a flat metal that's formed into a ring that's welded, and then a pin, I'm not real sure what you call it, but 2 pins at each leg. And the leg, you can see, comes up at an angle and then turns up straight to come inside the ring. Now the metal itself is 3/4 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick. So somebody that does metal work should be able to find that. Now we do have some of these that are different heights. I'm going to get some more made. It might be out of round stock or something else. I'm wanting one to fit my 16-inch Dutch oven, just so that, because, you know, going 16 inches across, that right there would be 16 inches. Just give you a little more, you know, stability to it. But this is nice, especially like cooking that chili. You can have a little bit of a fire, whereas the leg on the Dutch oven is only, you know, that tall, and that gives you a little more height, especially doing a stew or something like that. Being on my tabletop, don't have a way to hang it, and then also if you need to move it or whatnot, instead of hanging it, you can just set it on these. Like I said, if you know somebody that does metal work, a little bit of welding, or if you do it yourself, pretty easy little project. I do see a lot of people use the horseshoes, where you take several of them and weld them together, and that makes for a stand. And usually that puts it maybe about 3 or 4 inches up off the ground, give you a little more height than the legs on the Dutch oven. It's accessories like this that makes cooking with cast iron over a wood fire, things like that, easier and more versatile. Now, I have a video from last year where talk about our cook set, where we have a lot of different size S hooks, so we can raise and lower pots and pans. We didn't get those S hooks overnight. Just over time, we, you know, had our friends make them or buy them somewhere else. You know, we do buy them from our friends, but just over time, we collect items like that and put them to use. So this is a real good tool I like to use. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video on the Irish sausage roll. Feel free to add things like mushrooms would be good, some peppers, anything like that. But give it a try, and hopefully the luck of the Irish will be behind you in cooking that. Now, coming up March the 18th and 19th, we're going to be in Lake Waccamaw at the Boys and Girls Home. $10 to get in. Come out and see us. Was just talking to Cookie this morning, and everyone's real excited about the show. This is our first show for 2023, and we're super excited about it. He was going actually down to the coast and meet up with some of the cowboys down there and have lunch with them, and, you know, just discuss things going on for the show. So we're looking forward to that. And then the very following weekend at the Lee County Fairgrounds, which is the 24th and 25th, Friday and Saturday, free to get in. And we'll have the wagon there on Saturday. In fact, Mosey and I will be there, and Cookie said may come down and help us cook a little bit too. So if you're close by, come out to the shows and see us. We'd love to talk to you. We love talking to people about the chuck wagons and life as a cowboy and a cowboy cook on the cattle trails. If you like videos like this, please subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with friends. Share it with a lot of friends. Like it. And of course, ring the bell. And Mushy, the cowboy cook, will see you down the trail.